So, good morning, Mr. Custodio. I am Romer Jace A. Panisa, and this is my group mates, Faith Jara Bueno and Mark Christian Rivera. And we are the 30 students from De La Salle University, Las Marinas, currently taking business operations management. And as part of our requirement, we are required to conduct an interview in a company where there are foreign employees or co-workers. And that's all. So, to start with, our first question is, what kind of work do you do?
I am personally engaged in basically sales and marketing in the company. Of course, I am the president, so I preside the meeting and as a work of the president. But basically, day-to-day job is more on the sales and marketing.
Thank you. So, how long have you been doing this work?
For sales and marketing, maybe 17 years. But we started our company 1993 for Ideal World.
Yes, sir.
But before Ideal World comes, we have our first company, 1986. So for sales, that is like 17 years, and marketing. But when we started, of course, before sales and marketing, I started, from the very beginning of searching, purchasing, many things. Before that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, can you describe a typical workday of a president?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Typical day. Basically, we immediately, of course, I go to sales and marketing. No, so on the day-to-day basis, I do, of course, giving signature and giving instruction. But mainly, I check, of course, the email, more on sales marketing. So, president is not very much. Meaning, work for the president is not done so much every day. I spend time more on sales and marketing. Of course, we do have meetings, so that's not every day, of course.
Yes, sir.
So I check my emails, and then I communicate with my buyers and customers, respond to their inquiries, make an offer, negotiate, and then finally we close deals. Then if I get or close the deals or the order, finally I have to request for, of course, partial payment or down payment. No. And then after that, of course, I send the order to the factory production area and monitor the supply, the production or process, and then the schedule for delivery, and finally for shipment. So after the shipment, I collect the full payment, of course, and close the transaction finally. So that's basically my job in the sales and marketing, and actually he assists me in sales and marketing. Yeah. And then of course time by time, signature for the checks and for some transactions, and so sometimes we do have meetings, and then in the afternoon I go to check the production, the operation, and then if something comes up, then we have to discuss on the matter. For example, complaint of the buyers, so we have to check the one and check in the actual area, and then meet with the person involved, and has to, of course, come up with solutions and respond to buyers and customers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, basically that's our day job.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So for the next question, I'm going to call Mr. Mick. Mark Christian for the next question, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Here's the next question, sir. Why did you end up doing this work? What kind of person often does this sort of work?
Yeah, I ended up working in sales and marketing in our company, and yeah, because on the first place, actually, we are founded based on the purpose of supplying the requirements of our mother company in Japan. And so we act therefore as a researcher and producer and supplier or exporter to our mother company. And since that was founded and began with my boss, Japanese boss, and I co-founded together, pioneered in establishing the company. And so since that is for Japan, we have finally established that for Japan market, and so I thought of expanding the market, and so because of that, I came to be responsible for sales and marketing for expanding market outside of Japan. So we therefore started to offer to other countries outside of Japan, because for Japan, my boss is responsible engaging with them. And so to be able to expand the market, so I have to be responsible. So I therefore ended up handling the sales and marketing for the other countries other than Japan.
Sir, thank you, sir. Now, sir, what do you like and what are those difficult things about this work?
Yeah. Okay. It's difficult when you of course try to market yourself and your product, and try to really fulfill or satisfy their need, but then you come up with problems like oh, there's not enough supply, something happens with your shipment. So those dissatisfaction, those problem, which usually occurs, of course, but it's a normal thing. But our objective kasi is to supposedly over deliver and satisfy the need of the buyer and customer. So as much as possible, we have to make it, of course, perfect. So then you can maintain your customers and expand your customers. So that's the most difficult thing, no? When you cannot fulfill that requirements, when you cannot meet the highest expectation. But of course, that's a challenge, and you have to find out solutions to the problem. So that's the most difficult one. Therefore, type of person who will be working with that should be, of course, first thing is you are in business. And your business is basically to serve the need of your buyer and customer. And so, therefore, based on that, the focus and attention of satisfying the needs of your customer, you have to work hard, you have to work smart with your heart.
Next, sir, how do customers or other people in this company treat you? What do you think about the job you do? How do you think they are treated based on their work? Things like that.
First, because of that focus and purpose that we have of satisfying the need of our customers, of course they are very happy, so they treat us very well. And so that's why these buyers from the very beginning until now are still with us together. We continue our business until this time, no? So they have been a good, long-term buyer who treat us very well, because we treat them very well as well. And with our company here, treating one another, we basically are like a family business company. That's how we relate with our peers and our workers. because basically we are having we set up this company with a mission, you know. My boss is coming from Japan, and he is sent here to establish business in the Philippines with a like faith-based concept or philosophy, you know, to invest in a certain country, develop in that country, and help the people in that country. That's basically why we call that his business mission. So therefore, ourselves here consider this as our mission, business mission.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
For the next questions, I'm going to call Faith Gwen.
Good morning again, sir. For the next question, how does being a Filipino worker with foreign employees play into the work you do? Very,
actually very favorable. You know, as a Filipino, working with Japanese boss and peers, and sometimes because I communicated to countries, different parts of the world, so we are basically engaging with many different cultures. Yeah. So we have many customers, you know. In Asia, we have Korea, of course, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, then Australia, then Germany, UK. He's more on Europe, no? UK, Germany, Poland, France, then US. So anyway, working with them as a Filipino, it's fun, you know. It's interesting. It's enjoyable, basically. Happy, you know, to deal with different types of people. And so far, our relationship is good. So, in a way, I of course I broaden my perspective. You know, my background basically is Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Economics and major in Farm Production and Economics. So therefore, working in the global market and dealing with different cultures, of course, broaden my horizon. At the same time, you can see how the world should be, you know, supposed to cooperate with each other. Here, for example, in your boss as foreigner, they have different perspective, you know, as different from Filipino because of their cultural backgrounds, etc., right? And so, therefore, I developed myself, of course, dealing with them and dealing with different cultures, and then I see that the world is basically an extension of the basic unit of society, which is family. No? And you just expand your relationship of yourself to the parent, to your children, and to your brothers and sisters. And then you just expand that one. Basically, in the family, you also have different characters and different mind, although you have the same culture. Okay, so you communicate from each other. I mean, to each other with basically, of course, uniqueness, no, of the differences. So you expand to the world. So this is what I see, you know, in our job. I can sell, I can serve what they need, which I have, no, but supposedly they too what they have. In economics, we call this comparative advantage. So what we have here, which is maybe uniquely Filipino or a unique product from the Philippines, which may not be found in other countries, should be promoted or should be, you know, able to serve other countries because they do not have that one, no? And other countries should suppose to serve our country, which do not have the product which they have, no? So in short, kung ano ang meron sila na wala tayo. Supposedly, dapat i-serve nila tayo. Tayo rin kung anong meron sa atin, dapat i-serve natin sa kanila. So, both world therefore will benefit to the highest level. Kasi wala kang kalaban eh. Sa iyo yun lang ang produkto eh. Sa Pilipinas lang ang produkto. So, pag ibinta mo yun sa kanila, wala kang kalaban na ibang country kundi sa inyo lang. Okay? Sila naman, walang ibang country kundi sila lang na meron. And if they serve us, siyempre wala din silang kalaban. So, kung titingnan mo, each country who has the unique product which can serve other countries, I guess the country will become more better. The world also becomes better. Di ba? In your family, yung wala sa iyo, you give to, you give each other. You do give and take. Kung anong meron siya, nandun siya. Kung anong meron siya, binigay siya. Ganun din, if the world is like that, I think the world will become more better. Diba? Walang masyadong problema. Oo. Biro mo bibilhin mo sa akin yung produkto lang namin. Anyway, we have one case, like we have one product. We called it Holy Rock. This is a decorative rocks. When I search from other country, meron din sila. Pero mas unique yun sa atin. Mas unique. Mas maganda. I think mas maganda. So, that's why, because of that, nung ako lang noon, kunti lang yung other countries na nabibintahan ko. Nung nandyan na si Jen, lalong nag-expand, no? Kasi tech-savvy naman siya kasi siya, no? So he can market more. Kaya more countries na nag-appreciate kasi hindi nila makita yung ganung klase sa ibang bansa. So ganun din, if I in the future wanted to import something na hindi ko makikita dito, pero posibleng malaki ang demand dito at makita ko sa ibang country, then I can bring it here. Then, I think business is good for everyone.
So for the next question, has this work changed the way you think about yourself?
Yes, as I told you, I broadened my mind, no? Because I deal with different people, no? May tatanda na, may mga bata pa, traditional and millennial, and of course they have different temperament. Korean very different from Japanese, etc. So it really broadened my horizon. In a way, it can make your heart more big, and you wish more to be to have global inclusive growth. Hindi lang ikaw kundi sila rin, because of the exchange of culture and resources and knowledge, etc. Technology.
How do you see yourself 5 years from now? And what advice could you give to those who are aspiring to be a part of the business or corporate industry?
5 years from now, I guess I will be maybe in still in business. I may not be here. Maybe I'll resign soon or retire soon. No. Then maybe I will have my business or still run business, and maybe engage in foreign exchange, trader or something like that, foreign exchange. And then advice, siguro the same. Anyway, work hard, okay? Work smart with your heart. No? Yeah, that's what I get from my daughter. In any field you want to be in, of course, business.
Yes.
I mean, in business, of course, you have to know business in and out, of course. But mainly, you should have that foundation. Work hard, work smart, with your heart. And in any field, kahit hindi business, of course, we need to have that, because where your heart is, you'll be happy.
Yes.
Working without your heart there will be, you might spend your time, but you may not be happy. So happiness basically comes from the heart. So anyway, just I want to share. Everything in this world becomes meaningful and fulfilling because you are happy, right? If you are not happy, you better make it happy. You really have to put your heart into it. Sometimes you may not like what you do, yeah. Sometimes you may be forced what you do, but sometimes to understand the world, to understand life, you have to go beyond yourself. You have to go beyond your comfort zone. So even if you don't like, you may have to try and check. You may have to experience. Then you expand your mind, maybe your heart, because basically, yeah, I would say, we are all sons and daughters of our parents. Our parents are all sons and daughters of their parents. Finally, at the very end, we are all sons and daughters of God. Okay? God. So, if we believe we are created by somebody, we call that God, right? We call him God. So, if in that case, if you call him God, and if you call him a parent always is concerned with his children, right? So, in that case, if you are put into a situation where sometimes you don't like, when you happen to be in a situation where you may feel difficulties, etc. If you believe in God and parent, as a parent, what do you think will God feel and what do you think parent will feel when you are in difficult situation or in whatever situation you are in? You are sad, you are angry, you are happy. What do you think would he feel? Always parent or God likes to see you in a positive aspect. If you are weak, he wants to see you to be strong, right? If you are sad, he wants to see you to be happy. He always is concerned of your joy and happiness. Yeah. So that's why when he puts you to something, I think he's sending some message, message to learn in this experience. And if you finally reflect upon that, in a way, he wanted us to experience in any given situation, his situation. Then, like for example, difficulties, how can that be meaningful and fulfilling? That is if you know that what you are experiencing is basically an experience of the parents. Anybody, when the parents knew your situation, they really always feel compassion with you, empathy with you. And so that's why when you have those different experiences, you will know God or parents don't like you to be yung mapunta kayo sa hindi magandang situation. Pero but we do always in our real life experience na meron talagang problema, meron talagang difficulties, etc. So, but it is always temporary, no? After that, it's you go to another realm, no? You learn more, you experience more, you appreciate more, you value more, you feel more, strong, etc. Right? So always don't separate from your heart, from your identity. Identity. We really have to know ourselves. You have to know your weakness, your strength, your opportunities, your threat. Sa SWOT analysis, it applies to your personal self. So if you can know that and you know that you have God as a parent, then basically you have nothing to worry because no one will put you in a what's that? yung sa delikadong bagay. Of course, minsan delikado yun, pero hindi ibig sabihin na dahil delikado yun ay talagang iniligay ka doon para maano ka, madisgrasya, etc. No. So, that's why you just have to have your heart and keep your identity. What you believe is true and valuable and important. Anyway, what really matters to your life in relation to your parent and to your God? Everything that is relevant and everything that is important. That's what matters. Anything that disturbs us, you have to do your best to, sit aside. Otherwise, that will dominate yourself. So, therefore, you need to have your strength, but not alone by yourself, because you will be overwhelmed, by your environment and surroundings. You should have somebody with yourself, and that's no other than, of course, God as our parent. So anywhere, everywhere, others may have their God also, the way they conceptualize. But you should, each one of you, anyway, should know yourself really, your identity, what's really important, and that's what I can say, to everyone or to anybody. We shouldn't forget our identity. We should know our identity, and we shouldn't forget that we come from our parent, who comes from finally God, the ultimate. So that connection, vertical connection, we shouldn't forget this one. When we forget this one, the world is forgotten also. That's why the world is in disarray, because maybe in most cases, maybe they cut off themselves from that original identity. We are our flesh. We are. Anyway, we come out from this world with blood, with life, with love, or we can say blood lineage. We are born. We are born from somebody, and that somebody is the origin of our blood lineage, and that blood lineage originally comes from God. The God of goodness. So basically, we are supposed to be really good, but evil forces come, so it destroys the world. So we have to be strong against the evil forces, and so for that reason, really, that's where you come. That's where it is. Why it is important to work hard, because you have many influences around you. That basically, if you are not, of course, smart, may instead of helping you to achieve your goals, will disturb you and will stop you. So that's why we have to work hard, and we have to work smart, always with the heart. Heart means original heart coming from God, God's heart, basically. And if you love, anything, even difficult situation, if you have that heart, if you have that love, even that difficult situation, maybe you can absorb, you can digest, and you can make it a part of your, self in your growing and development. So any field, it's okay. Any field, as where you are inclined to, where you are interested in. Just don't cut off yourself from your original identity, right? Then you can look back history, you can connect yourself, and that's where you find your true value. Cutting off, you become alone and you don't know where to go, and you lost your value. You are, dominated by the environment, which is, if you're not careful, not good. So you have to be careful, and in any fields anyway, because we have to make this world in the right perspective and right direction, right? So anyway, you're young, so you have your idealism, so you have to keep that idealism. we always heard from the news, traditional politician, like that, no? Parang yung description natin, ganun. Kasi, pag sinabi mo traditional, parang, yun na yung ways nila, no? And always, parang nakakabit sa hindi magandang pamamaraan, parang ganun, no? So, sa mga young people, we should have the idealism to be protected from that kind of thing, no? We have to have we can say, maybe new culture, no? Culture, which is starting from the family, no? Culture from the, when you see your father and mother really having a very good relationship, no? And then they love you very much. So you are surrounded with such kind of parents' love, right? So you feel more secure, and when you establish that confidence and bring outside to relate with your friends, you're bringing that kind of quality. Then your friends also feel that from you. The way you treat, the way you love, the way you care. Then they also do the same to others. So if you expand this circle and you influence positively the other people, then I think that makes our culture better. Yeah. Because we see other cultures, you have many things to say. So that's why you have to, I think, determine within yourself, no, always with your identity, no. When we talk identity, always, of course, you always ask your inner self. You look at your inner self before looking outside, and that is where you go. Based on your pero yun kasi, no, what advice or what can you say, and that's what I can say, because anything you want to do should have a positive impact or influence, or should help the world become better. No? So
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
for
sir.
meeting you.
Yes.
Yeah, I do hope. Anyway, for our part, maybe, I don't know, when you see our side, people who are more elder to you, but for me, when I see you younger people, please remember that you are always the hope of the country and the world. You change the course of history based on your ideas. If you just follow what is going on, what is the trend, I think it may not be good, especially for advanced age already, who has difficulty to change themselves. So kayo, you are still young, and you can still keep the ideal, and you can really change the world, I guess. So your field is very important, and your identity is very important.
Yes, sir.
So you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your identity, and that what you are, that your choice is really good, not only for yourself but for the world.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
for
sir.
coming.
Thank you for your
Yes, sir.
time
Yeah.
po.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Oo.
Sir, can I ask for a
Okay.
signature?